Originating from the musical traditions of Mali in West Africa, the djem, normally pronounced djembe, has become one of the most well-loved hand drums in the world today. Because of their goblet-like shape and thinner skins, djembes have a broad range of tones that gives them truly excellent voices. They usually look stunning as well, as most are hand-carved or finished in expressive West African patterns. In this review, we're going to look at 8 very different djembes. We'll teach you how to spot a lemon and how to select the best djem for your needs. So let's get started. 1. Mondo rope-tuned headliner series wood djembe. Size: 10 diameter, 20 tall. Finishes: carved and stained wood in Black River motif, Nile, artifact, and Congo motifs available. We begin with a classic style drum from German percussion builder Male. This rope-tuned wooden djembe is made from sustainably farmed mahogany, hand-carved into a stunning instrument. The outside is carved into a cool flowing river pattern that rings the drum. Taking a peek inside, we see that the interior surface is also carved in rougher scallops, rather than smoothed out. Now you might think this is laziness on the builder's part, but you'd be wrong. Smooth drums can echo too much, causing reverb and muddiance in the overall sound. How does this thing play? With a traditional goatskin top, this djembe has a very bright sound. The bass or open note offers a decent boom considering the smallish diameter of this drum. Slapping near the rim gives an explosive pop. The drum plays quite loud and feels great on the hands, even with that new goatskin hasn't been broken in yet. Any drawbacks? If we need to look at some downsides, we can mention a couple of things that might put some players off this drum. It's solid hardwood, and though it's not the heaviest drum around, it might be a bit heavy for kids or for playing standing up. Also, the traditional Mali weave in the nylon cord can be quite tricky to tune. You have to untie it, adjust the tension, then retie it without it slipping. But that traditional tie-down also looks the part, so is it really a negative? Pros: great sound and great looking drum. Excellent price. 2. Mondo djembe. Size: 14 diameter, 24 tall. Finishes: composite material in brown earth monochrome, also available in serpentine day, Quintel cloth, black earth, multi-mask, green kint, flame, shadow flame, salsa Deco, Sahara brown, jubilee red, and adinkra motifs. Remo flips the djembe market on its head with their all-synthetic Mondo djembe. Instead of the traditional hardwood, Remo uses its wood fiber composite material to create a seamless shell. Unlike the male headliner, the inside of this drum is smoothly finished, though both the inside and outside feature a slightly rough texture. Adorable synthetic. The head is synthetic, too, of course. This is Remo. They've used a Mondo skindy ped on this djembe. If you've ever tried a Cindy ped, you know that they are tough and durable, giving bright tones and lots of attack. The bass or open tone is deeper on this drum, owing to it being much bigger than the male. Despite the ability of the acoustic and shell to absorb reverb, this drum has a bit too much for our liking, leading to a muddier sound. The slap tones really pop, though. Outstanding hardware. By far, the best feature of this drum is the hardware. Rather than using a rope weave system, the head is held on and tuned using powder-coated steel rings and brackets. The tuning lugs are usable with a standard drum key and allow you to tune instantly and effortlessly. However, the synthetic head rarely goes out of tune as it's not susceptible to changes in temperature and humidity like a real skin. Altogether, this is a great, very durable drum. But it sure isn't cheap. Pros: durable and very well-built drum, easily to tune. 3. BND Top Gem drum. Size: 8 diameter, 16 tall. Finishes: brown stained hardwood. Dropping back to the very cheap side of things, we had the chance to look at the simply named Gem drum by BND Top. Now, this is not a well-known percussion brand such as Remo or Male. So how does their djembe rate? First things first, this drum is apparently made from mahogany like the Male. However, it's not handmade, or at least not entirely. It may have been roughly shaped by hand, but the surface finish shows clearly that it has been turned on a lathe. This has created a smooth finish, inside and out. This drum is much smaller than the manel, and it's also a lot straighter than both drums we've seen so far. Its raw goatskin head is attached traditionally by woven nylon rope, just like the manel. However, there's very little else that makes this drum actually sound like a djembe, lacking in sound clarity. The bass tone is muddy and quiet and really lacks in personality. The tone note, halfway between the bass and the slap, is the only tone that sounds alright. The slap tones coming out of this drum don't pop at all. Not only was the sound completely dull, but when we tried to tune this drum higher, a good part of the weave came loose. It took forever to reedy the rope, and when we did, the sound really hadn't improved at all. Only for those on a very tight budget. Sorry BND, but we'll have to recommend this drum as one to avoid unless you are on a very tight budget or you want a djembe as a decorative piece. Pros: this drum is cheap, and that's about it. 4. Deco 79 wood and leather djembe. Size: 7 diameter, 12 tall. Finishes: carved and stained hardwood. The all-synthetic Ramo and pearl drums showed a great amount of variation. So what about wooden djembes? Are they all pretty much the same? We've already seen the manel headliner and the BND Top Gem, and these were obviously very different. While the somewhat more expensive manel was a truly well-built, great-sounding handmade drum, the BND Top Gem drum left a whole lot to be desired. But we can still say at least one thing about it: at least it really was a drum. Certainly looks good. With Deco 79's wood and leather djembe, we're really not sure if it was actually made to be played on or not. At a cut-rate price, we certainly didn't expect much. But when this drum first came out of the box, we were pleasantly surprised. Sure, it's quite small at only 7x12, but it's a real hardwood drum, and the carving and stain on it look funky and unusual. It really did look like a drum. Then we tried hitting it. More decorative than drum. Despite being called a wood and leather djembe, it turns out that this drum is topped by a synthetic leather skin that lacks all the stretched outness of real skin. It's just left there, slapped over the wood shell, and not tuned up at all. Despite our best efforts, we couldn't get this skin to tune up to anywhere near playable. In short, this is either just a children's toy or a home decor item, and most definitely couldn't possibly be intended as a real drum. Pros: looks pretty in your living room. Cheap. 5. BND Top Mini Djembe. Size: 6 diameter, 14 tall. Finishes: fabric wrapped plastic in bright floral print motifs. With our next djembe experiment, we were much savvier. This time we knew we were looking at a drum meant for children. We knew it was small, very inexpensive, and just too cute. But we also wanted to know what we might be in for in terms of sound and durability. Kids can be pretty rough on their toys. At first look, you may very well fall in love with this tiny djembe. It's coated in a sort of applique fabric in some randomly assembled African prints. It's heavy on floral patterns and bright colors. The head is also decorated. It's covered in cartoonish pictures of people, masks, plants, and animals, almost like a graffiti wall for kids. Does it sound any good? For way less than $50, what you're getting here is a very cute kid's toy. The body of this drum is made of hard plastic. Our guess is ABS, and it has a rubberized bottom ring to protect it when put down hard. The head is made of some sort of tightly applied hard plastic. Together, this combines for a very cold, plastic sound that's missing all the warmth of a wooden drum. Still, you can manage to get 2 or possibly 3 tones out of the thing. Superb for the kids. But at 6 in diameter, that's not really the point. Even tiny hands aren't going to find enough surface area to effectively strike different tones on this drum. Instead, it can be played hanging over the shoulder as the kid, because that's who will want to sport this cute drum, running around banging it one-handed. Pros: small, cute, and cheap.